Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Tech Data Engineer. So today we will discuss one of the most important topic in SQL that's called SQL Performance Tuning. So why this is important and why we are doing the tuning to our SQL queries. So basically SQL Performance Tuning is the process of enhancing SQL queries to speed up the server performance. So in layman term, we can understand like whenever we are writing a query against a database or a table, you can say. So the time required to fetch the result as a output and whatever the resource utilization during that process, that is the basically two factor which mostly plays role in performance of a SQL query. So, why there is a performance issue? So, whenever we are writing a query against a table, so that takes more time and takes more resource utilizations. So, there are many ways by doing that we can just increase the performance of a SQL query. So in this video we will understand like what are the steps we can take so that we can decrease the time response time and you can say decrease the resource utilizations also. So SQL performance tuning is the process of enhancing SQL queries to speed up the server performance. So performance tuning in SQL shortens the time it takes for a user to receive a response after sending a query and utilize fewer resources in the process. Okay. So the same thing which we already discussed, to decrease the time, response time, and decrease the resource utilizations. Okay. So, why this happens? Why we are getting the performance tuning issue in our SQL query? So, there are some factors which basically affects the our you can say SQL response time and resource utilizations. Okay. So, one of the factor is the table size. Okay, so performance may be impacted if your query hits one or more table with millions of records. So suppose your table have millions of records, so obviously it will take more time to fetch the data and more time to fetch your you can say query response, and you can utilize more resource also. Okay. Apart from your table size, if you are applying join operation, mostly cross join, so what will happen? Suppose you have two table or multiple table, if you are applying the cross join, so suppose one table have n number of records and another table have n number of records. So if you are in worst case scenario, you can consider as a you have total n into n number of records. So obviously in your output table there would be the size of your table would be high, and that obviously it will take more time to face the data and do the computations. So one would be the table size, other would be the join operation, and then other would be the aggregations. So adding several rows together to create a single result need more processing. So that is you can say adding more this one aggregate functions that will also take much time rather than just retrieving those value individually. So these are the factors which basically which basically play an important role in performance tuning. Okay, so these are the basically factors which affect SQL speeds. Apart from these three, there are a lot many factors also which affect. Okay, then what are the steps which we follow so that we can increase our performance? Like what are the steps we can follow to increase the performance, like response time? We can decrease the response time and decrease the resource utilization. So first would be this instead of select star, we use select statement. Suppose your table have five or six fields. Suppose so instead of what we are doing for shortens our query and all, we are writing select a star. But best practice would be if you wanted to display some particular field, so you need to select the like suppose your table have first name last name, you can select first name last name and address or city, then from table. Instead of writing select a star from table. Okay, because select a star takes more time. So I mean that is not the good practice also. So avoid writing select a star instead of select and then fill. Then other would be the avoid select distance. In practical, to get rid of duplicates from a query by using selected. To selected we are using so that we are so in our final table we will not get any duplication. So for removing the duplication, basically we are using the select distinct. Then other option would be select the maximum field. Suppose your table have five records. Okay, so so there is a chance that that duplicate will come if you will not apply your select distinct. So try to in your select field, try to take the field which basically after selecting you will get the like you will not get any distinct record, you will not get any duplicate record. So try to take sub like it's like suppose there is a query called select distinct first name last name from your table. So instead of write select first name, last name, then address, city, state. Try to increase the field so that you will get the uh, like you will not get any duplicate value. You get the distinct value. So try to do that. Then then third option would be uh, create query with inner join. Okay. So whenever there is a query to do some join operations, mainly cross join, and then based on the resultant table, if you are applying where condition. So if you will applying that way, so that way would be more time taking also, and so there would be more computation required. Obviously, so more resource utilization is there and more response time would be there. So try to use inner join instead of cross join with where conditions. Then where and havings also play a very important role. So try to avoid that. So a successful query will only retrieve the necessary record from a database. So having a statement are computed after where statement. So in accordance with the SQL order operations, where statement is more effective if the goal is to filter the query based on conditions. So for row, not on aggregate value, we are using where and having on aggregate. So try to use where instead of having command. Okay. For you can say suppose for any alphabetical search or any search we are using the wildcard. So use wildcard at the end of phrase. Okay, instead of select is suppose CT from table where suppose it's like a number is a no, and also try to use wildcard you can say query at the end of phrase only. Okay, and then again there would be a use limit to sample query result. Always try to limit your query instead of suppose you require only 10 records or 15 records, so try to limit that instead of fetching all the records. And then seven, that would be the best practice. That is not you can say that is the best practice to use your query during your peak hours. It means that suppose if you are using your query on analytical engine and multiple concurrent users are running the query, so that time obviously this resource utilization will be more, and then response time would be also more because of multiple concurrent execution happen. So try to run your query during peak hours, during off peak hours. Sorry, not peak hours, off peak hours, so that your query would be faster. Apart from this, all seven you can use indexing also, index tuning and all to face the things. So that is also one of the one of the you can say um, performance training. Way to do performance tuning in SQL. So try to use indexing also. So apart from this, there are lot many tools which we can implement in our solutions also, like SQL Symmetry, SQL Doctor, Profiler, SQL Defrag Managers, DB Optimizer, SQL Check. These all are the tools basically we are applying for performance tuning. Okay. So these are the things basically we are applying. Okay. And apart from this, there are some other things also which we will discuss. Like what are the way so that we can find out how our SQL query is slowed down. So suppose if you're talking about the SQL server, create the execution plan. Try to create the execution plan. Monitor resource usage. Try to monitor your resource, like what is the utilization and all utilization percentage of your resource. Use SQL dynamic management view to find your slow queries. So these are the things which basically we can implement so that we can monitor our SQL queries performance issue in SQL Server. So these are the steps we can follow. So these are the things which basically, if we are taking care, then we can enhance our performance in SQL queries. Thank you. Thanks for watching.